Good evening, everyone. It is I, Eibbor Nanahcub. Okay, that started a little bit, but not that bad. Ooh. And welcome back to another very special video. That's right, we're back here once again with another birthday video. Today being Tsukushi's birthday video, so happy birthday to Tsukushi. And today we'll be going over the 5 reasons why Tsukushi should be your best girl. Starting off with number 5. Costumes. Okie dokie. We all know the song and dance. Most of the time, this is going to be down here because it's always a thing to mention. It's always great, but unless they're making them, I don't really feel a need to bump it up any higher. Which Tsukushi does help design and help a little bit, but not the main maker of the outfits. That's more or less Toko and Nanami's kind of feel, because Toko's got the sense of fashion, and Nanami's just good at everything. So yeah, but Tsukushi likes to be there as well. Being herself the leader of the band, she's always got to involve herself and help. That's who she is. But yeah, I always really like the outfits that Morphonica has. And Tsukushi's got some really cool ones, man. Like again, her second Dreamfest card is such a cool one. It's like if a, I don't know, it's hard. It's like she's wearing like a maid outfit that came straight out of an anime. If this game wasn't already an anime, if you know what I mean. Just looks like it's so colorful and vibrant. Again, a lot of Morphonica's outfits are really just like super sleek, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Like uniform styled, but not like the regiment of a uniform. It's got still kind of that flair. It's kind of got the cool styling to it. But yeah, Morphonica's always got some cool stuff, and Tsukushi always gets some cool looks too. That doesn't help. She just looks cool. Tsukushi just always looks cool whenever she's just in charge behind the drums. So yeah. But moving on to our next one. Number 4. Singing voice. Alright, now this one was a little low. I know. Usually it's not this low. But the only reason I did that is because, well, we're not in the same situation with Masaki, and who else was it? Who else am I forgetting? I think it was Raka as well, I think, right? Or have we done Raka's video, yeah. Yeah, I think it was Masaki and Raka, but yeah. Tsukushi has had, I think, only like a few little lines. I know she's had a big one in Harmony Day, which is the one I kind of use that as a judgment, and loved it. It was great. But my thing is also, like I've said before, Tsukushi's voice kind of follows how she talks. Nothing against the voice actor. No. She still sounds great. It still works, but you can hear her voice in her singing voice, which makes kind of sense since it's a voice in a singing voice. But you know what I mean? Like, with Mashiro, it's kind of hard to be like, oh, that's Mashiro? Oh my gosh. And like with you, well, you can, I can see it because she does kind of talk in that regal voice. But you know what I mean? Like, there's a difference between someone's going full out singing voice and their talking voice sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. And Tsukushi's is, there's the difference, but you can still hear her tone of voice and still hear the personality that is Tsukushi in the singing voice. So it's like, oh, okay. But still, loved it. It was great. I want to see more. I want to see more from some of the side girls. Not side girls, what I was saying. But the non-vocalists. Like, RAS still has Masuki, who hasn't gotten a singing part yet. Come on, guys. We've had these trade-off lines in the earlier bands. What's up with Morphonica and RAS? Come on, Bang Dream, let them sing. But Tsukushi definitely has a very nice, like, it's a light voice. It's kind of like a nice pairing with Mashiro's, because they're kind of in the same element. Because Tsukushi's a little bit more of a lower tone one, where Mashiro's a very high, airy one. So it kind of works together really well. So I want to see more of that. I want to see, like, trade-offs. Like, again, my favorite freaking song to example this is, oh gosh. Easy Come, Easy Go. Sorry, I almost said you go love your way, but like, no, that's not it. Easy Come, Easy Go, because I love that. Just that trade-off between Himari and Ran most of the time. It's just great. But we're talking about Tsukushi today, not Afterglow. Get out of here. But let's move on to our next one. Number 3. Drumming skills. Alright, now we're on to some interesting business, because this is one that kind of caught me off guard. Because the fact that Tsukushi's had previous drum knowledge was really cool. I was like, oh, cool. So we do have somebody who's had some previous knowledge besides just Rui. And then I learned it was from her playing the drums in the marching band in elementary school. I'm like, wait, hold on a second, what? I didn't. There were not marching bands in school until high school for me. Like, Japan just has elementary school marching bands. I imagine it's just like a little drum corps, like just like they go out and do some performances and just like not really like elaborate marching shows, but like, you know, just like go up, perform, move around a little bit, and just, I don't know. Not trying to discount it. Not trying to discount it at all. I might be entirely wrong. There may be like a way more intense marching band stuff way over in Japan. I may be entirely wrong, and it's possible, and it's very possible. But I just like to see that. It's just like, okay, that's an interesting starting point. But it's good to know that Tsukushi has experience, and it makes sense too, because Tsukushi is really regiment in how she plays, and she plays very technical stuff for Morphonica, and it may not sound that way because of how Morphonica's music is like very kind of like, it's more of a lighter kind of feel. It's still epic sounding, but it's a light feel because just the way things are handled. And the way Rui's violin lifts the stuff too, it's a very like light, but still fantastical kind of scenery. But Tsukushi's playing very technical stuff and doing, a lot of what I've noticed is like she's doing a lot of what's called ghost notes, which are kind of like little flare bits you're not really supposed to hear, but kind of like put a little bit more of a technical spin into stuff. I'm not a drummer, so I can't put a perfect explanation, but yeah, it's just really cool to like see how much she can actually do. So just Tsukushi can tear it up, and that's just awesome. Then also I like the fact that she can have this like regiment from a marching band perspective, because that is like super hardcore. Just like you have to be on time, you got to know your like just you got to be on point. You got to know what you're doing, you got to know how to play it, you got to know what you're playing, and you got to make sure you do it at the point and on the point. And Tsukushi does that. And that perfectly pays off with that. She's just really good. I think my favorite, even though it's a cover, I think my favorite is Never Everland, because it's such a speed-like song, and just how fast Tsukushi changes up like techniques and stuff. Again, not a drummer, so I don't know what to call it, but just the drums in that song are just going everywhere, and just always being there to back up the song itself. It's crazy. But enough of my rambling about drums. Let's move on to our next one. Number 2. Personality. Okay, now this one's a little bit, I was going to say heavy, but it's kind of heavy, but not entirely. But Tsukushi is a person that's very interesting to me, because she's someone who deems herself to be a caretaker. She's like one who wants to take care of everyone and make sure everyone's doing all well. She's the class president of her class. That kind of explains that. She's the class president of her class. Well, yeah, what else would she be a class president of? But yeah, she's class president. She's the leader of the band, and she always tries to like watch out for her. And she's got 2 younger siblings she's got to watch out for too. Like Tsukushi is like wholeheartedly just trying to make sure everyone is in good mind space. And I hate to say it, but Morphonica's first band story put her through a really tough time, because Mashiro, not Mashiro's fault. It's kind of like a defense mechanism for her being very outwardly like spiteful in the beginning. Like when she was just like trying to be like, "Ooh, you guys don't even try it." Like it was just her reacting because she wasn't confident in herself and just had some things to get over. But Tsukushi having to deal with that probably hurt and hit a lot, because again, she wants to make sure everyone's okay, and doesn't like being called out on it, because even though Toko will tease her for trying to be the mother hen of everybody, but it's still nice to see. Like again, that's nice to see like someone just stepping in that role, because Lisa kind of does it naturally, and Chisato does it naturally. Obviously, there's multiple characters that do it with no effort at all. There's still a little bit of like trouble and stuff going on whenever they try and do it, but Tsukushi is like the one that will actively try and be like, what can I do to help? How can I help you? Like, how can we get the, like, I like that. And she's also very, just a pure, just ball of joy. I wanted to say smile factory, but that's not a good, that's a weird analogy, but she's always just trying to make sure things are the best, and she's always just happy, and I love that. Like when you got a band with Rui, who is the ultimate sourpuss, no, I'm just kidding, the ultimate grump master, you got to have someone who can balance it out, and especially with Mashiro too, also being one of the downers, whenever she gets like put off. she's come around too. But yeah, Tsukushi having to be there. Because Toko is energy. She's hype. She's like ready to do her own thing, ready to just go have a good time. And Nanami's kind of like her own little, she's just to herself and just allows to go along for the ride. So having Tsukushi there to kind of like pick everybody up is a really good thing. And I think it really works for her. Because again, she's just trying her best. And that's just the best way to put it. And I like that. I want to see more. I want to see them do more with Tsukushi. I want to see more from Morphonica. I want to see more with Morphonica. Well, we'll just have to see. But moving on to our last one. Number one. Ah, yes. Last but not least, we have the plotting, kind of channeling of Akko, if I had to say so myself, but Tsukushi's little because I know that's been done a few times with other girls, but Tsukushi kind of does it way more than them. That's kind of like her thing, and I love that because it kind of ties into her personality type, because it's just the fact that she's like, oh, you seem to have a little bit of a problem on your hand. Well, guess what I have up my sleeve? The solution! And she was, I love the smug aura that pops. It's also the fact that she gets real smug, and it's super great. Like, I love it, because it's just, usually Tsukushi's just kind of like the reserved, kind of like, she'll help you out, she's always there to be there. But whenever she gets the chance, she's like, oh yes, you're starting to find yourself in a bind, eh? Well, guess what I have up my sleeve? The answer to your, like, just her going on, this smug aura is so great. There's that little giggle, just a little laugh is so great. Cause it's like, uh-oh, we're heading into Smug Town, boys. Everybody get ready. I love it. It's just great. And again, like I said, I know a lot of other girls have done it before, but this one's kind of like Tsukushi's main thing. Then I couldn't really find a personal like tick. Well, what do you say? Like a favorite characteristic for Tsukushi, other than that. I think that's what they were going for. But like, you know, with Mocha, you got the bread, and you got the sass of Chisato. Well, Chisato is kind of the same boat, but you know what I mean, though. Like, you have multiple people who have their own thing, like Kaoru's fleeting, Kaoru's hakanai, and Kanon's fue. It's like, I was looking around, but I'm guessing that this is what it meant to be Tsukushi's. Everybody else can do it, but Tsukushi has the trademark on it. And the smug. I love the smug. The smug aura from Tsukushi is so good. It's so funny, man. I love it. Oh. But I think that'll do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know I sure did. Getting to celebrate the 5 reasons why Tsukushi's the best girl. And also, once again, happy birthday to Tsukushi. The girl I think I owe the most apologies to, because when she first came out, my dumb old brain was like, yes, that's Tsukishi. Yes. I don't know where I got that. I think I got on the train, train of thought of just it was Tsukishi when I was recording. I'm just like, went from there. It's like, let's just keep going. And then I did 5 videos for that whole 3rd anniversary, continuing to call it Tsukishi. I'm like, oh man, I look back and be like, oh man, I was dumb. Kind of like when I go back and look at like the old D4DJ videos, just like, oh man, I didn't know anybody. But yeah, I apologize to Tsukushi. And she's definitely, like, again, when Morphonica first came out, I'm not trying to say this to knock them, but when it first came out, I was kind of like, we've been teased RAS the whole time. They were in season 2, whenever it was around at that time. And then we just get this band out of nowhere, and it's like, what the heck? Of course, Shiro was teased in the end of the second half of this main story. But still, the fact of, like, we'd had so much more promo with RAS, and then here comes Morphonica, and we're like, where'd these guys come from? But now that they've gotten their time in the spotlight, they're great. Love them. They're amazing. But I think that'll do it for this video. Did I already say that? Yeah, I did. But once again, happy birthday to Tsukushi. And until next time, guys, I'll see ya.